I never expected that our cozy movie night would turn into a horrifying ordeal. It all started when my parents left for a weekend getaway, leaving me alone in our big, old house. My girlfriend, Emily, and I decided to spend the night together at my place, taking advantage of the empty house. Little did we know that this would be a night we'd never forget. The evening began like any other. We ordered pizza, loaded up on snacks, and set up our favorite horror movies to watch. We snuggled under a blanket on the couch, with the only source of light coming from the flickering TV screen. The rain outside added to the eerie ambience, but we were safe and warm inside. As we watched the first movie, I received a strange call on my phone. It was a blocked number, but I decided to answer it out of curiosity. A chilling, whispery voice on the other end said, "You're not alone." I brushed it off as a prank and hung up, assuming it was one of my friends trying to scare me. Emily laughed, thinking it was just a friend's attempt to freak us out. We resumed our movie, but that call had already put a damper on the night. Suddenly, the power went out, plunging us into darkness. Emily clung to me, and we both nervously laughed it off, attributing it to the storm outside. I grabbed my phone to use its flashlight, and that's when I noticed a series of unsettling texts from the blocked number. "I'm watching you, alone in the dark. And your girlfriend's next." Panic set in as I showed the text to Emily. She was visibly scared, and I could feel her trembling. We decided to call the police, but my phone had no signal. That's when we heard a faint, eerie sound coming from upstairs, like footsteps creaking on the old wooden floor. We froze, our hearts pounding in our chests. I whispered to Emily, "Stay here, I'll go check it out." I grabbed a baseball bat from the closet and cautiously climbed the darkened stairs. The unsettling feeling of being watched intensified with each step. At the top of the stairs, I saw a shadowy figure disappearing into one of the bedrooms. I burst into the room, ready to confront the intruder, but it was empty. My heart raced as I realized the figure had slipped away. I returned to the living room, shaken, and locked all the doors and windows. Just as I thought we might be safe, my phone rang again. It was the blocked number, but this time, the voice was more sinister, more malevolent. "I'm coming for you," it whispered. I hung up, trembling with fear. Emily and I huddled together on the couch, waiting for what felt like an eternity. Then, we heard a loud crash from the kitchen. We knew we had to get out of there. As quietly as we could, we made our way to the back door. But just as we reached for the doorknob, the lights flickered back on. The room was bathed in a sickly yellow glow, and the voice on the phone laughed maniacally. I spun around, and there, standing in the doorway, was a figure dressed in a tattered, blood-stained hoodie. It was holding a gleaming knife. Before we could react, it lunged at us, and everything went black. I woke up later, disoriented and in pain. The police arrived shortly after, finding us battered and bruised, but alive. They searched the house, but the intruder was gone, leaving behind only a trail of terror. In the days that followed, we experienced a series of terrifying incidents. The blocked calls continued, each message growing more menacing. We found strange symbols scrawled on the walls in red paint, symbols we couldn't decipher. Our belongings were rearranged, and items went missing, only to reappear in unsettling places. One night, we heard whispers echoing through the house, chilling voices murmuring our names in the dead of night. We tried to leave, but every time we approached the front door, it slammed shut with an unseen force. One evening, as we searched for answers in the basement, we stumbled upon a hidden room filled with disturbing paraphernalia, old photographs of us, torn clothing, and newspaper clippings detailing unsolved murders in the area. We were trapped in a living nightmare, tormented by a malevolent presence that seemed to feed off our fear. We eventually moved out of that house, but the terror and trauma stayed with us, a constant reminder of the horror that unfolded during that fateful home alone night. We never discovered the true identity of our tormentor, and the mystery remains unsolved, casting a long, dark shadow over our lives.